people. Why they get offended so easy? Throw a pair. Just take it and move on. Do 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 da do da do do do. Yo, Flirts, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you. Do you have...
Oké, ja, zo fijn. Dit is wel een...
And then... What's up, and we are live, I think. Yo, Flirts. What's up? It's good to see you all. Tonight's going to be a very...
Hello?
Should get some soon for some people. We've already been having some numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, actually, both you and Dave are just... You are too much of a coward.
And Craig, if you beat the Fallacy King.
You stupid woman.
That's going to be an interesting one tonight. Hello, Flirts, what's up? Good to see you all. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. We do have PJ Cruikshank, Jeff, Luca, and Dave in the house. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Was that glitchy for everybody else?
There's sound. I always thought there's no sound. Sorry?
Yeah, well, it was glitching for me. It was glitching for me. The start, the intro.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really
Well, it's
fast
good
at
to
the
see you
beginning.
guys.
It was really fast. It was like. It's
the penguins are screwing with you, man. I'm telling you.
Penguins, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's this whole Antarctica business, I'm telling you.
Of course, I was about to say that as well. By the time I wanted to talk to Pastor Duffy last night, he disappeared. I was in your chat, so I ended up just staying in your chat because Pastor Duffy went.
Yeah, 3 a.m. was too early for me.
Oh, it was early, but I stayed awake because I did a stream in the morning, then I did Vicky's video in the afternoon, stream at night, and then I set my alarm for Solve, but me and Vicky chatted all the way through till Solve's anyway, so I didn't need to set my alarm in the end. So I had a late one yesterday, a busy one all day yesterday.
So guys, Kevin Nash. Who knows Kevin Nash? Or about
WWE.
I do.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
NWO.
for the New World Order, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, he's one of those.
Ironic.
What is he? WWF or something? World
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Yeah, he was
WWE.
part of the NWO.
Listen, I couldn't even watch that crap when I was a kid because I thought there was something fundamentally wrong with people having their faces in the crotches. Some fat dude in underwear. It just really put me off. I couldn't watch it. I
Yeah,
just
it's
couldn't do it.
it doesn't appeal to me. Boxing, yeah, but not wrestling.
Yeah, I could deal with boxing a little better than I could deal with that. But you got your, the guy grabs you and sticks your face right there in his sweaty fat grunk and shit. I mean, it'd be like, that's it. I'm tapping out. I'm done. You win.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. But he obviously retired, became an actor and stuff. But he was quite famous. They're going to be talking about flat Earth. It was a podcast that they did on his show, Kliq This. Guys, if you haven't, I did put the link in the description. Go subscribe if you haven't already. Sure, it's an interesting thing. I haven't watched this yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what they talk about. But But we got the poll going. What does the poll say? Got to open it again. Anyway, we got people watching. Please hit the likes, share the show. Thank you all for coming. The globe is obsessed with flat Earth. 71% say yes, 21% say no, and 8% say could be. What do you guys say?
Oh, absolutely. Most anti-flat earthers are definitely.
That would be an affirmative.
Just the anti-flat earthers in my book. I don't think real globies are. They're getting there though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Roger. Anti-flat earthers, but not globies.
They're hearing about it.
Oh,
So it's good to see you guys all here. I really appreciate you being here. It's going to be a fun, exciting evening, I guess. Yeah, let's get to it, I guess. Let's see.
That's a thing in 2023. Well, it's been for a few years, but it kind of became a thing again in the 2020s. The whole.
That's Kevin.
When it comes on flat Earth.
Got quite old
like,
now.
Okay, so if we send these rockets up, sometimes 2 a day now, with satellites. Where the fuck do they go?
How do they orbit
They wouldn't orbit anything. You can't orbit something that's flat.
What do they say to the satellite photos of the sphere-like object that turns?
Just like the moon landing.
See, it's all fake. The photos are fake.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Is Kevin Nash a flat earther?
ooh, he looks like he is.
It kind of sounds like he's a flat earther.
Nice.
It's quite shocking. I thought he was going to say not flat earth.
Looks like he might be.
But it kind of sounds like fighting for the flat earth.
Absolutely. Looking good. We'll see. Oh, come on, dude.
Okay. That guy what?
Out of the Gemini craft, when they did the
yeah.
first moonwalk, or the first orbital walk outside of the capsule, I had that model, the Gemini capsule with the fucking tether and the fucking astronaut.
Were you a model? Were you a model kid?
Oh.
A little bit of the tester's paint, get high on that.
Oh, I would buy like a funny car. I would put, I put like 10 coats of tester spray paint on that motherfucker. I'd hand paint the engine block. I would work fucking a week putting this thing together just to go across the fucking bridge to Gros Isle to this place called the Wishing Well and get some fireworks and put a fucking smoke bomb in the back seat. And then it would fucking smoke, and then they would catch it on fire.
What they're really talking about? Sounds like he played with some rockets when he was younger, but I still don't know where that's going to play out. This might be a quick stream, guys. Weird. But yeah, I wonder, isn't that Kevin Nash a flat earther? Maybe we should search it. Kevin Nash, a flat earther. I don't see anything that says about it. Doesn't really say.
Nah. Maybe it's something he keeps kind of, well, mind you, people would put it in about him anyway if he was a flat earther on the news, so he wouldn't have a say in it, would he?
Kevin Nash, a wrestler or something?
He's a wrestler, yeah. He was a wrestler. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, he retired, obviously. He's quite old.
Yeah, I can't find anything on him either about him being a flat earther or not.
Because he did sound like he's sort of talking like he's a flat earther, or maybe he's just making fun of it. I don't know. Let's see.
Burn the fucking car. Just that was.
And with all the paint's very flammable.
Oh yeah, just that.
Do you know what's hiding in your business's data?
Thank you.
Companies of all
You don't have
sizes use
YouTube
BigQuery.
Premium?
No, I don't have YouTube Premium.
Oh, okay.
I'm a cheap shit.
I do.
I had YouTube Premium, and then they killed my first channel. And I thought to myself, fuck you. I'm not giving you any more money at all. Okay. Yeah. I'll tolerate your commercials. I'll put up an ad blocker, but I am not going to pay that reprehensible platform any money. I only use it because it happens to get the most traction with people. That's it. That's the only reason I use it.
I agree. I'd rather use an ad blocker, but I had to even take that down because YouTube wouldn't let me click on any videos. It wouldn't play any video unless I took the ad blocker down. That was last year. And I ain't put it up since, so I have to deal with the commercials as well.
Hey, Izzy, thanks for following on TikTok. Thank you for coming. Please hit the share. Woohoo. Okay.
See, it works for some people, only updates, but for me, it won't. It like I say, it told me to get rid of it, or it wouldn't let me play a video. I tried playing a video, and they stuck to the word. I couldn't play a video, so I had to get rid of it.
The thing that's catching my eye though is behind it says Todd. I don't know what it says. Todd the God or what?
To God.
Todd God.
Is that a movie?
God of God.
Oh, it's maybe to God, something to. No, why? No, because that's also God. Also, because it's TOO, so I think it's Todd God. I don't know. None of it makes sense.
It could be an O. It looks like a D.
Or it could be 100
God.
God.
I want to see. I can't see what's in between that.
It could be 100 something. No, I think it's 2. It's 2.
Oh.
Oh, Todd. Sorry, Todd.
Todd. Trademark.
It's probably a wrestler, Todd the God or something. You know what I mean? Some sort of wrestler.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I've seen the being small in like book or movie titles or something, yeah. So it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So you'd spend hours and hours building it and 5 minutes destroying it.
Yeah. I think I was as a young kid. I was very in tune with Jackson Pollock. I can't prove that. I just know it's true.
It's Todd is God.
Model into a Pollock.
Yeah, Todd is God. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It says that. Wow. Okay.
With
a big G.
He's the guy that started Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I got.
It's a video about him.
Mm-hmm. Story of how I created Extreme Champ. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. I just researched it. Yes, you're right. Todd is God, the authorized story of how I created Extreme Championship Wrestling. Yeah. It's a memoir.
I wouldn't call that research. I would say that you just looked it up.
Yeah.
Well, that's not research.
It's like a few seconds.
Sorry. Actually, it's Luca research.
Luca research.
It's a few seconds of research.
Google.
Well, I just don't like that though, especially if someone puts calling someone else a god with a big G as well. It's like, whoa.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean? It's like big disrespect.
Yep. Nice texture there. Vic Vines, hey Kev, this is some feedback from last week. Kev, just wanted to say again, I'm glad you're with us and doing podcasting and giving us your honest opinion on things. Sean, thanks for weekly podcasts and the hard work it takes to do this. Well, it takes a village, for God's sakes. Vic Vines.
But first, there's another JFK talking.
The 12 of you that watched last week's show
12.
enjoyed. What's funny though, it's like we got a lot of feedback about the JFK thing, complete with other, listener.
Now I'm interested to see what they spoke about JFK.
Definitely.
It's really quite interesting.
Theories as well, but the topic was kind of over. The numbers might not have indicated it.
You know what? It's just one of those things that, and I was talking to Steve before the show, and we were both talking about Prime has, if you go to, like the documentaries, there's probably 20 different things just covering the Kennedy assassination.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like 4 times as much as any other thing you could look up.
That's interesting. It does seem that they do look into conspiracies, quote unquote. So that's quite cool. Something I would definitely not expect. They don't look like the type of people that look into conspiracies.
No.
So that's quite cool. I just hope they do talk about flat Earth though, because that's what we're supposed to be. I mean, that's like Kevin Nash on the flat Earth theory.
Isn't it weird that they don't wear tinfoil hats?
The JFK thing becomes a more convoluted rabbit hole as time goes on. You wouldn't believe the crap that I've seen come about from this thing. Changes in the narratives, changes in the usual cast of suspects. Now it's showing, I don't know what, Connolly wasn't in the car with Kennedy this time, and now he didn't get shot. I mean, the Secret Service guy in the front turned around and shot Kennedy like nobody would have saw that, right?
I know.
Come on, man. They just keep adding more mud to the swamp of it. And then you really have to ask yourself this. Did that assassination really even happen?
I mean, the gun in the front from the front was actually just the rear mirror, wasn't it?
The thing is, there was a bullet hole in the windshield. There was a bullet hole in the windshield that could have only been made from a front shot, just based on the way the glass was. They've taken that window out and replaced it in the Smithsonian. But I've seen photographs and shit from the initial scene of the thing, where people have caught it when they're there at Parkland Hospital and all that. But here's what's really suspect. You can always tell when there was some kind of a big, huge conspiracy around it because of all the falderall that goes around it. Okay? The United States has had 4 assassinated presidents, but most people only think there's been 2. Kennedy and Lincoln. We've actually had 4 assassinated presidents, but those are the ones that they put all the falderall on. There's where your suspicion starts to grow. Right there.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they're of varying quality. I'm sure some of it might be like a little bit of a shot on VHS, maybe.
Which is Solving the Crime of the Century? Is that the one that the Australian? I think I watched that the other night, and he was hit by a Full Metal Jacket.
I wonder where they full.
Is that the one JFK-X?
I'm pretty sure that's it. Steve says friendly fire theory is during the solving of the crime of the century. So Crime of the Century on Prime. Good watch.
What the doctor
and
saw.
only a 3.5. What the doctor saw.
Oh yeah. I was really hoping they're going to talk about Flat Earth.
So
Almost done.
About as well as our JFK show last week. JFK, the smoking gun.
Yeah, but how many times do you actually sit around after a film's done and put, for me, not for me? Well, fuck off. Who cares? I'm done watching it.
No, I know. That's the thing with.
See, look at this. Yeah, and I'm a dick. I'm a fucking dick because I want to talk about this shit.
JFK's women scandals.
That is true though.
Yeah.
You guys realize that if you talk about something and people don't agree with you, then you're just a dick, man. You're just an asshole. I mean, look when you talk about the Columbia incident where the astronauts aren't dead. You guys are hateful. You're wrong. You're just hateful. You hate the people. It's like,
NASA doesn't lie.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, but then you show them everything, and there's you guys are just making shit up.
Yeah, because they have to take you to a place of pathos and not logos. Okay, they have to take you to a place of pathos to obscure the truth. Oh, the fifis of the families and all this other, get out of here. Nobody was running that shit when people came up with the idea that Hitler wasn't dead from the bunker. Nobody said, oh, you're insensitive. Nobody said that.
That's right. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
But yeah, I find that, like I said, it's really odd. If you bring up something that the people don't like, then all of a sudden you're just the scumbag. You're just a bad person. It's like, dude.
You want to hear something that just happened in a school district here or just close to where I am? They canceled all dunk tanks in the school district because it's racist.
What? How's that?
I have no clue, man, but that's what they're claiming.
What?
Yeah.
How are dunk tanks racist?
Exactly.
Well, we've had a victory here where I live. We had several schools around here that were named after Confederate generals. Okay. And when all this Black Lives Matter crap started happening and they were tearing down statues, they went and changed the names of the school. The people lost their fucking minds, and now they have voted to change them back, and they have changed them back to their original names: Stonewall Jackson High School, Robert E. Lee. Absolutely. In fact, those men, despite what people are told what the Civil War was all about, those men still carry prominence here in the South. You can't go around a corner and find somebody whose name isn't, her middle name isn't Lee, after Robert E. Lee, including my mother. Her name was Sally Lee Blosser, and that was named, that Lee was from Robert E. Lee.
Huh? That's weird.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for Tony Whitcomb for his £10 super chat. Really, really appreciate it, man. You rock. He says, what do you call a space monkey believer? Michael Jackson had the answer with his pet name, Bubbles in space.
Oh,
wow.
Thank you very, very much, man. Tony, you rock. Appreciate the super chat, man. Well, we got halfway in the video, and they haven't really said anything about flat Earth, so... No.
This is disappointing.
Yeah.
I think it was just because you mentioned it at the beginning. No, I think that might have been it.
Yeah. PJ been a member for many months already. Can you believe it? He says Chain A support, old timer now. Thank you very much, PJ.
Support, and it's a free membership.
Oh, PJ, can't hear you. Roboting bad, man. You're taking Roger's job away from him.
I'm joking. I'm putting in a real one now.
You're taking Roger's job away from him with the echoing, the roboting.
Oh, was I? It does that. Sometimes my computer does the robots for a second, then it does the speedy up thing, then it sorts itself out. Sorry, yeah, no, I said, yeah, I've put in Chinese support, and it's a free membership. I'll put in a real one now. I wasn't actually trying to be funny. I just so used to putting Chinese support.
Field.
Dark Legacy.
Dark Legacy. Who's on the cover of that one?
That's
Bush. Bush 1, right?
Well, but it's case.
Well, right, but it's going to be the right
yes,
behind it is.
Yes.
So there's the
American
CIA
Experience,
theory.
JFK, Oliver Platt.
Speaking of that, now you guys heard the new joke in South Africa now, because they're going to make a new government for us.
Oh yeah.
And their plan is to make united government. So all the parties that took part in the elections, they want to stick them all together as one big government.
Oh, that's awesome. Sounds like a one world government to me.
You really think that's going to work? Yeah. I mean, the people separated can't even disagree on things. Now they want to take 30 parties or something and stick them together?
Mm.
Nah.
Oh, nothing says top-down control like that, right?
Yeah,
It's insane. Really bad. I mean, they can't even decide who they want the president to be, for Pete's sake.
No, exactly.
They're trying to get Zuma back on because he's actually supposed to go to prison for all his crimes. And somehow he managed to set up his own new political party. And now they want a coalition, and they say, okay, if we have coalition, you have to sack Ramaphosa, and we have to acquit Zuma of all his charges and make him president. What?
Jesus.
The guys are crazy.
Well, here's the question people have to ask. Where is power derived? Okay? Where does the power that these people wield come from? And the answer is you.
Satan.
It's from you, because you'll foolishly fall for the trap and go consent to it by voting. That's what'll
Even
happen.
if-
There's
the
only
problem is-
2 ways to coerce people, and that is through threat of violence or through cooperation. And a lot of times they use the threat of violence to force your cooperation. All contracts are voluntary. So when you find yourself in a totalitarian government, you did that.
The problem is the day they told you there's a democracy, you got duped into thinking there is.
Well, if people understood what democracy actually is, it's 2 wolves and a sheep deciding what's going to be for dinner.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. PJ Cruikshank, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He says intentional chain A support.
Go on.
Thank you. And then you get a special PJ, you rock.
See, democracy is evil, and I
Thank you
can
very much.
prove it in less than a minute. Okay? So we're going to have a democratic election here. So we've got 5 people, majority rules. Whoever thinks that Flatzoid should give each one of us $100 US cash, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
The only dissenting vote is going to be Flatzoid. I'm sorry, majority rules, and you consented to the vote. You lose.
So on.
Yep. Thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. He says, what? Apples do overheat. Is it apples? Roger? Oh, he dropped.
Apples overheat.
No, apple. I don't know what spelling that is, but thank you very much for. I have no idea what that's supposed to
Some
mean.
kind of a little animal of some kind.
But thank you for the super chat, man. You rock. Let's see. Oh, he's back in. Roger.
Oh, hi.
Roger, what is your super chat about? I don't know if he can talk or not.
Yep, my
But
apple
anyway,
overheated.
if he does come.
My apple overheated.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
didn't-
his
Oh,
phone.
apple phone. I'm thinking like the apple.
Oh, you need a crap.
you mean
I was picturing an apple heating up and exploding or something. You know, an actual fruit apple. Okay, the phone.
an Apple iPhone? Got
A
it.
crapple.
yeah.
It's a crapple.
Because I was thinking it's maybe got something to do with like Newton or something. I'm like trying to think, what's the correlation with the apple overheating?
Yeah, I was going into apple pies and all kinds of crap in my head. Now, I do remember that McDonald's apple pies were served at the surface temperature of the sun. Those things were the worst things in the world. As soon as you bit it, guaranteed a blister somewhere. Absolutely. But it still wasn't overheated. It was just really hot. So, okay, Apple phone. I get it. Nice.
Hey, sorry guys.
The
I gotta
sad
take
thing
off
is,
here.
I
No,
like
left.
the Apple phones though.
Let
Me and
us
my
do
wife,
it.
Apple, we like Apple.
Apple phone's okay.
All right,
I
I'll
like
see you
it.
guys later. Have a
Yeah,
good one.
Cheers,
What's
cheers, man. Thanks
God
for
bless.
coming, man. Stay safe.
no worries.
Bye.
Cheers. There you go, this Lord. Hey, Chris is in the house as well. What's up? Yeah.
Did you see my video for it? Sir?
Yes, I did. And I
Yeah.
made my point exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. So in other words, it just describes, doesn't prove.
Yeah.
What's up, this Lord? Good to see you, man.
Lucky me.
Oh, someone else just tried to join, so you joined just in time.
We would have took Luke out for you anyway. Just look.
I mean, who wants to join? Do you know?
No idea. It doesn't tell me.
Ah, okay.
Another Chennai support from Miss Mod Queen Bee. Thank you, Vicky, very, very much. I really appreciate it. Now, PJ, you have to write there. You rock. Short.
Of course.
Thank you very, very much. It says, Chennai support. I vote Globetrot suck ass. Thank you very, very much.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah. Never a truer word said.
Mm-hmm. How's Sean Hawkins and Global Mom sticking up for Aaron?
Oh yeah, well I've seen that Sean Hawkins shared my video today. I
Yeah,
didn't.
but he's saying you guys are the one that's wrong.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he's sticking up for Aaron.
No, no doubt.
Once I dismantle that weird-looking vile creature on Jaren's next week,
Ooh.
I will have no cause ever to have any contact with that vile, evil, hateful, seething little worm ever again.
What?
The thing is, Sean
Sean
Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very vile. He's like even my wife said, because she personally blocked him on Discord for me, because she's like, that guy's sick. There's something wrong with him. He's
Yeah,
literally
he
why doesn't he bother with him? She literally thinks of him as like some triggered old hermit sitting on a bong somewhere that just hates everybody.
Yeah.
Like a troll living under a bridge
Yeah.
yelling at billy goats.
Absolutely right.
But I mean, I did try.
I like the Billy Goat.
The guy, and I still do think Sean Hawkins make right with God, man. It's not a long time before you do meet your maker, unfortunately.
Nah, everybody.
Part of the furniture, man.
No, Keith. We need examples. We need examples. I'm sorry. I'm one of those. You remember the dumb kid that did stupid shit in the neighborhood and broke their arm? They were an example. Okay. So the rest of us didn't do it. So yeah, screw him.
Vicky,
I hope Satan pisses right up his ass. I do.
Luca, Vicky asked, "Can you drop quick?"
Yeah, okay.
I think she wants to come say something quickly.
Yeah, I'll drop.
man.
Okay, see you guys.
Just thanks for coming.
Actually, I'll
Yeah?
update my computer. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so yeah.
Cool, man.
My computer needs an update, so I leave and then rejoin. See you guys.
See you in a
Cheers,
bit.
man.
Bye.
Peace.
There we go.
Later,
I
Luca.
think Vicky wants to come in. Okay. Well, we're supposed to talk about Kevin Nash, but they're not really talking about flat Earth, so we stuck on other stuff. There we go. There's Vicky.
You get
Hey,
even
Vicky.
another video?
Hello.
Hey, Vicky.
No, I haven't got. So we'll have to see.
Sean Hawkins and Global can both go suck ass.
Suck each other's right, yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you know what, right? If you're gonna
The thing is, you know what's sad about it, Vicky? They don't even know the situation.
I know.
And they want to say how bad you guys are, and me and myself. But they don't know what the hell is even going on. They know nothing about what's even going on or what Aaron's actually doing.
And it's funny. It's funny as well because that's the first video I've ever made about this situation. But he's already made a few. You know what I mean?
Can I just say, right? Sean Hawkins, you've got 3 viewers. Do you have to use our content to get any viewers? Also, Global Mom, I don't know who you are, but you sound retarded. Mr. Armstrong.
She's someone who's got her avatar as a baby with a globe in place of the brain. That's her avatar, with a baby with a globe in place of the brain.
Literally indoctrination. It's literally indoctrination personified, and she doesn't see that way.
But if you're gonna,
proud of it, by the way.
She's proud of it, yeah.
Oh well, that says everything. But if you see the thumbnails for both of our videos, it is the email where he says, "I will share the email that PJ sent during his breakdown." Right?
Mm-hmm.
You've just said it there. Literally said it. And if you're going to blackmail somebody to say sorry to you, then you really are delusional, mate.
What do you mean?
But doesn't he know blackmail is a criminal offense?
Well,
I mean, he's trying to blackmail me. He's trying to blackmail you guys. And he's trying to say we're the ones that are bad.
He couldn't even be bothered to send me a new email. He sent me the same email as he sent you. Hey, Flats. Exact same email.
Because he still emails me every day, everybody.
Wow.
The guy that says he's not obsessed with me still emails me every day.
Well,
I'm not
live on here, I want to apologise to Aaron Armstrong. I want to apologise that you have no life, nothing better to do, and that you are actually that sick in the head that you're going to try and ruin people's lives. Let me make this promise to you, right? You carry on, and I will find out where you work, and I will send them all the mental crap you've sent to all of us, and let's see how your hospital you work in would feel
I
about
don't even think he
a
works
nurse
anymore. I
that
think
does
he's
that.
retired.
Mm.
But I mean, we're better than that. We're not like him. We don't need.
No, but if he
No,
carries on, I will.
No,
but
well,
think
that's
about
what
it. We don't
that's what
need.
he's setting flats with. You know what I mean? So good for the news,
Exactly.
good for the gander.
Yep.
I mean, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I'm better
I
than
mean,
that. I don't need to go so low like that guy to do stuff like. I mean, the
No,
guy's so
but
obsessed. He's so angry that I'm ignoring him that he wants to go to those lengths. He had to literally go look for my personal information
mm.
and then try to blackmail me and make threats about me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly.
It is. Do you know what it reminds me of? A child throwing a tantrum until they get what they want.
That's right.
And like, Aaron, I don't know what you want people to say. I'm sorry for the fact that you are that mentally ill. You can't even see it, mate. As somebody who suffers with mental illness, I can tell you now, I would never stoop to the levels you stoop to, and it is not just mental illness. You are like a stalker ex-girlfriend to everybody. It's not normal adult behaviour. You have a wife, kids, grandkids. Go and put all the time and effort you put in to watching all our videos and all that crap and email after email and blackmailing. You blackmail two different people now, mate. You're dumb. But
Yeah,
that
I mean-
energy you could be putting into your family.
Yeah. Right. Don't hear his name again, Ben.
Hey, Matt, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, that's
What's up, Peach? Good to see you all.
How's it going, man? Good to see you, dude.
Yeah, I find a high degree of mental instability amongst most of these people.
Yep.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Especially the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, you know what I mean, the usual suspects.
Of course.
They don't have some kind of a ridiculous skater boy haircut in their mid-40s. They've got black fingernail polish, or they try to identify as a woman, or they're just psychopathically insane acting like Craig. I mean, there is serious mental issues with all these people. I mean, I can see that Arwen guy standing at the top of that hole saying it puts the lotion on its skin. That dude is a creepy son of a bitch, man. He is a creepy son of a bitch, and
You just reminded me. Craig just became a patron of mine today, just so he can debate.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I said I don't want to debate the guy anymore. So
That's because
he took advantage of my Patreon.
But wait, didn't you shit can McToon for that very same reason? Because you were just tired of their fucking nonsense?
No, McToon was disgusting. That's why he got shit canned. So unless if he crosses the line, I can't really say no because he's part of the Patreon. What's the name? So he kind of caught me on that one. So yeah, FTFE is going to get a monthly debate.
It's probably McDoon that put him up to it because he knew about that one, obviously, didn't he?
Here's what I suggest. When you have to fulfill that obligation, don't anybody watch.
No, do you know what I do sometimes when I can't deal with it? I mute it, so I'm in chat, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah, well, Flats can't really mute. Well, he could. He could mute it and still. Flats could mute it while he's debating him and still know what he says.
I could really make it like an echo chamber for that debate in the night and just say, don't let him talk at all. Make it so unbearable for him that he doesn't want to come debate again. Thank you, Roger Label, for your $2 super chat. Going to get a new phone. Awesome, man. You should. I really think he should. He's been struggling a lot with his phone. So
Roger,
but I'm not that kind of guy, though. I give people fair chances. So
I know, but
put like 2 or 3 subjects he needs to prove, and you know he can't, and he will just sit there and look at the paper and say, "But I already did," and ask you to talk, but you can just sit there and go, "No," with your face, nodding no all the time.
Well, he teaches people physics. You know, he's a tutor.
Oh yeah, he says so.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I should join one of his classes and see what he actually teaches.
I remember though when I still believed in the ball, and I never liked any of them.
You didn't.
Yeah, you said that. You thought there was something wrong with these guys, and you still
Not
do.
one of them was a good person. Not one of them. And I've noticed that all globalists seem to be like, well, whatever. They're called. What is it? I can't think of the word.
Cognitive dissonance.
No, well that, but none of them are Christians. They don't believe, and
they don't have a relationship with Christ.
no, and I think that shows, like, because remember that in Psalm 1 when it says ungodly people.
Yeah, you shouldn't sit with the council of the ungodly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they are. I'm sorry, that is what they are. But I'm going back to my chat now because I like it there.
All right.
I just wanted to say that. But yeah.
All right.
If you have nothing nice to say, shut the F up.
Mm-hmm. I must say my video was a emotional reaction, but it's out there, and I'm not going to remove it just because I was emotional when I did it.
It's a warranted reaction, PJ.
Yeah, I get it. But like Sovereign said in my comments, he says, yeah, what a crud bucket, absolute crud bucket. But he did say that I just find it ignoring these idiots is just much, which I definitely intend to do. I mean, I did intend to do it until that emotional outburst. I mean, I thought he'd gone months ago. You know what I mean? But that's it.
You know what, you guys want to hear something funny about the Law Lodge? Aiden Matthew?
Yeah.
He's saying, I'm chicken shit. I'm a coward because he doesn't want to debate me.
The same one that kicked off when I called him a petulant child in chat.
You know what his excuse is why he doesn't show our chat on his big channel?
Why?
He doesn't want more than one of the same topic on his channel.
What it means is he doesn't want people's opinion on him.
He doesn't want people to see that he knows sweet bugger all. That's why.
That's it.
Well, anyway, I'm going. I will see you all in
Okay, but
chat.
thanks for coming, Vicky. You rock.
All right,
you all rock.
Yeah. But 72 people in. Please hit the likes. Share the show. Thank you all for coming. Let's see if we can, in the last 4 minutes, actually see if they actually talk about Flat Earth. Otherwise, this was just literally clickbait. Let's see.
Yes, production.
There's the great JFK with Kevin Costner. It was a turkey shoot. All right, so we've got that covered.
There's plenty. Kev, you got a lot to go through.
I know I do. And once I get done with that, I'm going to try to disprove the landing on the moon. And then I'm going to completely go for probably 2 or 3 seasons flat earthing. Coming up with all the reasons why there's a flat earth.
OIF vet, I remember seeing the documentary about the Secret Service guy shooting him.
So he's a moon denier. But I can't quite make out, does he think it's a flat earth or is he trying to say that flat earth's wrong?
Don't know.
I really
straddle the fence, man.
This is going to be interesting. Maybe I should contact him and see if he would like to have a conversation on this.
Is there any more on that same channel of it?
Yeah, we're going to check. I think we'll check.
Yeah.
Plausible considering the X-ray and angle.
Maybe there was a bigger
stream.
It was a podcast, so this was probably cut from the podcast.
The FBI covered it up so they wouldn't lose credibility. Now that doesn't mean Oswald wasn't a Russian plant and did try that day to shoot him. He was a shit shot with a shit rifle. If he would have spent a little money and got a Mauser, it would have only taken one.
They claimed it was a Mauser. Listen, they claimed it to be a Mauser and showed it initially as a Mauser when that shooting first took place. But some idiot threw the wrong shell casings down, and then they had to make a rifle to match it.
Yep.
Okay. It was all a difference between 7.6 and 6.7.
Wow.
Somebody with dyslexia fucked that up and they changed the narrative because at Carcano, I fired one of them, and they're a piece of crap.
So I said the JFK thing is actually quite an interesting thing to look into.
I've been
Because
looking
there's,
into that one.
there's so many rabbit holes you can go down, and they all lead to different things. It's really weird. It's almost like you think maybe it just never really happened, like they're trying to say.
Well, it's hard for people until they realize that our government, or at least the dark elements of our government, like the CIA, does use organizations like the mafia to carry out different operations. They had actually contracted people through Lucky Luciano and that crew to try to assassinate Castro. Yeah, I mean,
the CIA is all about leverage. You guys have to understand it. They're not for well-being. They're for what they can use for leverage. Control the situation.
Those are two big organizations that Kennedy threatened. Was one, the CIA, and two, organized crime. See, he got in under the understanding, because of where he got all of his money through the connections of his father, that he would leave the Cosa Nostra alone. But then he appointed his little brother to the attorney general, who went directly after the people who put him in office. They, of course, they had a beef. They wanted Kennedy dead. The bankers wanted Kennedy dead, and the CIA wanted Kennedy dead. Those three organizations work together, man.
Well, the government's been trying to shut me down since I released the truth on JFK. He shot first.
Rodrigo, thank you for your $2. It was George Sr. Thank you very much.
I absolutely believe that he was the coordinator. I believe there were as many as 6 shooter teams in Dealey Plaza that day. I think that the dancing Israeli in this case was a man named Abraham Zapruder, because he just happened to be in the sweetest spot to capture the whole event.
Yeah.
Which would not have been along the parade route, which was changed all of a sudden. You see, when you see that car turn and then go past the book depository, it was supposed to continue on straight. That's why there were people lined up down the road, down that straight road. But the car suddenly turned, and there were fewer spectators in that area when that took place. And you mean Zapruder went out there to film Kennedy and didn't go to the scheduled parade route? He went off of it? That's just really suspect.
Ooh. Justin Peters is the fun experiment to set off that. We can do that next. This is
Vicky says,
hi, MMQB.
Yeah, Vicky says, say hi to Matt for me. I'm like, I'm sure he can see the chat, babe. Hey, Matt.
I was going to say hi to her before she left. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Matt. Okay, let's get this done, and then we can go on to see what we can do.
As far as the hardware?
I don't know. I've never sat propped on 2 small boxes in a 6-story before trying to blow the president's head off, so I don't know exactly what my feelings would be. Think about that. Think about scope and waiting for that dude's head to get in the range.
No. Yeah, that's rough.
And putting it through his back, and then supposedly the second one.
Why didn't they actually talk about flat Earth, though?
All within like 6.9 seconds.
You should have named it JFK.
Getting off 3 rounds, 2 of them hit the target. And you're from the service, but you're an operative?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on a book for the last 6 years that covers a little bit of this.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm ever going to be done with my book, by the way.
Yeah. I actually forgot about that for a little bit. I'm sure you will one day. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, when I'm big.
Yeah, when you're big, when you grow up. So.
I'm sorry that I actually peeled that open in my mind, because I just That's one of those things where you're just like, until we take care of this, everything after it is fucked up. Like, that would be one of the things. You take care of this, you fucking let that fucking shit get out. Like, whoever, if I would run on that. You know what? Everybody
Well, that
else
would be your platform for
that would be
election.
my platform. And I am going to fucking make available on fucking government.com, .net, .gov, the unredacted actual CIA documentation on the Kennedy.
See, Trump promised this, right?
They didn't talk anything about flat earther.
Then he takes a bunch of shit and he puts it in the toilet at Mar-a-Lago. I was hoping that box would have been the JFK files that were promised that he would have then disseminated, having taken them from the White House. But alas, no, it's still a mystery.
Yeah.
Wrapped
into the...
Yeah, the fact that it's still a mystery tells you one thing. It might just be fake. Might just all be a spiel.
Enigma.
Jack Panaccio. We need more conspiracy talk with Big Kev. I loved it. Big hit last week's show, Kev. Gotta tell you.
Anytime anybody wants to talk about World Trade Center 7, I'm the guy.
Oh, he's ready. Just send him your phone number so he can text you.
I will.
Actually, I'm thinking about it. I would like to see Brian Stabler and Kevin Nash have a conversation together. I think that could be.
I should suggest that to him. Is he in the chat?
I haven't seen him yet.
No, I haven't seen him.
But I think that'll be an awesome conversation.
You should.
Thank you, Roger Little, for another $2. It says he had to account for Coriolis. Do we have to account for Coriolis? Thank you very much for the super chat, man. You rock. Yeah, imagine the planes had to fly into the World Trade Centers. Yeah, sorry, guys. We have to try and figure out how far the buildings are going to move to the left.
Yeah, they dodged it. Did we skip out of the way?
Imagine that. The Earth turned underneath the plane, and the plane's missed.
Missed
Not today. Not today, guys.
There you go. I just sent Brian a message in Messenger. I said you should have a conversation with Kevin Nash at Real Kevin Nash about 9/11.
Definitely. I think they'll have an awesome conversation.
There we go.
That'll be a brilliant conversation.
At 6 a.m. of buildings falling and people jumping off them.
No, there's nobody.
No, there's nobody jumping.
It's just buildings free falling. With Tom Petty's fucking in the background singing Free Falling.
She's a good girl. Bronx PC Tech. Love the JFK talk. You guys should do more conspiracy theory shows.
Crazy about Elvis.
Big hit.
Okay, there was no flat earth in there.
Nothing about flat earth. And what's the title of it?
Nothing.
A total meltdown.
That's a thing.
So it was just a hook. See, there it is. It literally says that Kevin Nash and the flat earth theory.
Wow. I don't know. Was it mentioned?
Maybe he forgot about it.
He said flat earth twice, but that's about it.
Oh, the actual word was said. Right, yeah. The words, sorry. Words.
Kevin Nash on student loan. Kevin Nash on Ruth's Chris. Marketing. Dear Sexy, should I get back with Joe? Kevin Nash advice of Will Osprey. Okay.
Well, I got into it with my brother. We had graduations, celebrating graduations, high school graduations. My brother was there, and he's a Muslim. He's a Mason, right? And I told him he wasn't ready for the conversation, you know. And he's asking me about beliefs, and I said, it's not a belief not believe situation. You know, I know how it's measured. It's an answering a what is question as far as the Earth, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, well, what's your number one proof? What's your globe proof, man? Like, tell me what you got, you know? And he proceeds to tell me about some astronaut that left some figurines on the moon.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Somehow,
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
before he proverbially, like,
let's go look at them. Let's go.
Let's go get them. Let's go retrieve them.
And I think Buzz Aldrin must have had about $500 worth of silver dollars in his pocket too, because he's giving them out every time he makes an appearance. Oh, I took this to the moon with me here.
Well, there's still a camera sitting there on the moon waiting, right? So they should just be able to use that camera.
Oh, of course.
So tomorrow night we're going to be doing this one, guys, because Justin Peters is at it again. This one's the final experiment to settle the flat Earth debate.
Oh,
He
yeah.
chats with Will Duffy.
Oh,
so I checked your chat with Will Duffy today.
Mm.
Interesting stuff. I see Ryan also brought the same question. I thought, if he's a pastor, why is he not using that money for his flock? Why is he trying to fund to go to an ice block?
I as well. I can't work out whether he's got a continuous, a constant nervous smile, or is it a grin? He's got like this grin on his face, sort of thing, and it's continuously there while he's not talking. I don't know.
It looked kind of like Duper's Delight, is all I can describe it. But yeah, I was watching the body language. That was one of my primary purposes, and I'm still analyzing it. Because it's like I told him. I found it odd when I found out later in life that pastors, ministers, and reverends were believing that the Earth was a globe in a solar system. And I thought, isn't that contrary to what the Bible tells you? You know, and I've had them actually explain it away like, well, as we come to better understandings through science and stuff. And I'm going, okay. You know, so I told him last night, I find that really, really odd.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
That's why I was hoping you'd have been there, because that would have been a great segue into biblical cosmology.
I would have, but 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had such a late night last night because my son's been sick.
No worries.
He's been sick, really been struggling. He hasn't really eaten for 4 days now.
You gotta email him and see if you can get him on here.
Yeah, I should actually email Duffy. But yeah, it would literally just be on biblical cosmology. Actually, I should ask him, doesn't he just want to debate biblical cosmology? Because I don't really care about the final
say, would he like to discuss it?
Discuss.
Debate automatically puts it into a.
I don't want to do. I don't debate. Yeah. Because what I did get from him is, I think he is genuine. His chat that he had with you, I do get it is genuine, but I do get, like I said, the influence he's getting from like McToon and them makes the whole thing dishonest.
I mean,
it doesn't make him dishonest; it makes the whole thing dishonest. That's okay.
Yeah, they could be using him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But the one thing that bothered me, though, he said he was planning this before he even met McToon and stuff. I don't really know about that, if he's really telling the truth there. Because this seems to be something that's kind of, I don't know. He says he's really upping McToon a lot, like he's this good friend of his, and, he spoken at his church and everything. No, I don't know. I got a feeling that McToon put him up to this.
Yeah, McToon is the biggest freaking red flag that came up about that. As soon as I found it in there, it was sort of like, hold on a second, man. Those are two unlikely people to have collaborated together. A Christian minister and McToon.
Mm.
Right? That'd be like, Satan and Gabriel hanging out to play cards. No. You know what I'm saying? It just really went up with red flags. I mean, this man has been shown to be vile, hateful.
But I mean, also you heard he says he might not go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also weird. I mean, if you planning the whole thing, don't you think you'd rather make a plan to go? Now he says no. If he's going to pay for Whitsitt and Jaron to go, then he obviously can't go. So
Yeah,
then just
Whitsitt said that
don't
he
pay
won't
for them.
go. Whitsitt said he won't go if Duffy doesn't go.
Yeah. So you see what I mean? I don't know. But I still stick on to say I don't think this whole thing's going to happen. It's going to happen at the end of the day. Oh, it's just going to get cancelled for some weird, odd reason, and then something's going to happen.
Yeah. I personally don't think it's going to take place. Okay.
And there's so much people doing, and there's so much people giving GoFundMes and stuff for everything.
Yeah. Well,
they're taking advantage of these poor people.
Yeah. Well, it's been done before. It's been done
How
before.
many times?
It's supposed to be this Polar Express flight that is going to take.
Look at Red's rhetoric. One of the guys that's been shown for scamming people with their money and all the time. I mean, look at that thing with Sean Hufford that he was part of and everything. And again, now he's one of the guys that's going to end up going now. Come on.
Flats, yeah, Vicky says, can you make her a moderator in TikTok so she can help out on TikTok?
How do you make a moderator? Yeah,
I don't know. I've never done it myself, so not on TikTok.
There is a way. I did it the other day, man. How? I can't remember. So I'm going to try to figure out. There we go. Unfollow. No, I don't want to unfollow. Add moderator. There we go, Vicky.
There it is. Yeah, she's not banned them or anything. She just said somebody came in, they're going on about the chat's horrible and all that. But there's not many chatting in there.
No, dude, where's my curve?
Yeah,
dude, where's my curve is a cool guy. He's here in YouTube as well. Yeah. No, he's harmless. But yeah, it's good to have moderators there as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in TikTok's land as well. We are growing there at least. Whole 4 people watching.
Yeah. Don't ban them all. There's only 4.
But I do get a lot more likes there than here, though. So what's going on, people? The numbers don't add. 71 people watching, but we have less likes than what I have on TikTok. I mean, I got like 1.2K likes on TikTok. Come on, what's going on? 5 people watching. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's it. You'll have no followers left when Vicky's finished.
Yeah. So, Saturday, it's going to be a very, very long stream. It's going to be 8 hours long. So just a warning. Yeah, I'm going to have an 8 hours because I'm planning on doing my own documentary, and it's the first part of the documentary that I have to do.
I see.
So it's going to be a long one.
It will be. So what is your hours? What time are you doing it?
I'm going to start 8 p.m. and I'll end at 4 a.m.
Okay. Cool. That's cool.
And end at 4 a.m.
That was cool for me because that's the hours I'm awake.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing that, and then I've got a lot of work. Probably have a few
I'll
months.
be there.
It just means a lot of standing up and walking about because the old butt gets sore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think this is a very important documentary I'm going to make.
Nice.
It's diving into the psychology of why Globers feel the need to be obsessed with flat Earth.
That's it.
Because I do think we have to look at the psychology behind it, because we do see Globers are really obsessed with flat Earth. They always under the gaze of, no, it doesn't matter. It's just, fun. It's funny. But I've never seen anybody so obsessed with the topic if they find it to be idiotic.
I know.
I've never ever seen
that. Suspect. I find that really suspect.
I mean, if I find a subject idiotic, I just leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. These guys are like full blown into this whole subject.
Yeah. Almost
And,
as if they're trying to dissuade people from even considering it. You know, I mean, that's just the impression I get.
So yeah, I think it's something I'm definitely going to dive into, and I'm going to do a proper documentary on it. So I'm definitely going to do some interviews with some people. So do you guys get your pen and papers ready when I ask questions?
Groovy. Groovy.
So yeah. I was really hoping that Kevin Nash had something more to say about the flat Earth. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's just a little clickbait in it. Just the words were in there, so a little click. But I don't. Why would you? Mind you, yeah, a lot of kind of anti-flat earthers would have head towards it when they see the flat Earth kind of thing. So yeah, I suppose it could be clickbaity.
Mm-hmm. General Shadow. Okay, let's go. I mean, let's actually see if we can get some more content to watch now, because I want to do that Justin Peters tomorrow night. So I don't want to do that now.
No, of course. How long a video is that one?
That's an hour long.
An hour, yeah. So you'll need a full stream anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Probably two.
We are so professional here, guys.
We have to be.
There's a standard to keep up. Come on.
We got high dollar production. That's how you know it's legitimate. If they've got a lot of flashy intro and bells and whistles and shit all on their screen, well, how can you question the credibility of that? Right?
Oh, did you guys see Dave McKeegan's latest video?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Rocket work.
I didn't see it.
I haven't watched it yet, but
I see that. I didn't see it, but I seen that Level Alpha Observer has done something about. Done a video about it. I don't know if it's his latest video he's done something about, but sorry, done a video about. I did see that Adam had done something about it.
I think we can watch that one with Dave McKeegan. It's not going to be much fun, but because the guy's as exciting as a potato waiting to go through entropy.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what pissed me off. I put a potato in the microwave and I hit the pizza button and it still remained being a potato.
Damn it, I hate when that happens.
Oh. Is that what those buttons do?
I'm like, fuck yeah, I want pizza, not a potato.
Okay, let's see if we can watch some Dave McKeegan in the house. Let's see, get this on. Settings, understanding. Okay.
Yeah, spud. I prefer Michelle Keegan. Yes, you would.
Hello everybody,
Hello.
Hope you're doing well and thanks for joining us for another video. When it comes to the topic of space, one argument I see a lot, particularly from flat earthers, is claiming that rockets couldn't work in the vacuum of space. I mean, they also claim that you can't have the vacuum of space next to Earth's atmosphere without a physical barrier there to contain it, but that's an entirely separate argument.
Instead of just saying that, why don't you just demonstrate you can do it?
I
I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, or why bring it up at all if that's a separate incident, a separate story?
Okay.
For this video, I want to focus solely on the claims surrounding the workings of the rockets themselves, of which there seems to be two main claims, at least that I'm aware of. The first is claiming that rocket engines couldn't work in a vacuum because you need oxygen for things to burn. And second is there is no atmosphere in space for the engine thrust to push off of, so therefore rockets couldn't propel themselves forward in space. Both of these are misconceptions which I'm going to aim to break down as simply as possible.
Okay. What do you guys have to say for that? I've already got two big problems with
I can't wait for this. Yeah, I do too, because he's being a liar right off the top. You know what I mean? Like, this is the same stuff we always do.
if things in space are weightless, what in the world are you're nothing's going to happen. Why would anything happen?
But the guy does. First of all, yeah, you can get oxidizers to have things for to ignite in a vacuum. Fine, but it's very difficult to get them to actually catch. I mean, we've seen people try and test it in vacuums with their own oxidizers and stuff. It's very unpredictable. It's not always just going to work as they want it to. Secondly, if we understood why we say you need the air to push off of, you would understand that according to the laws of entropy and the joules-free expansion of gas, as soon as you have that rocket and you pushing with that energy out, all that energy is just dissipating to fill the space. So that filling of that space is taking the energy away from the rocket, from the exit of the rocket. So it's not able to push back.
There's no medium. There's no medium to push off of.
Yeah.
Practical reference.
Because remember, they moving off of the, they trying to go to the premise, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So they usually go like, if I'm on my chair here and I throw a bowling ball, I'll move back. That's all good and well. You got friction. But now if you're in a vacuum, what's going into nothing? The whole energy that you're pushing in is getting dissipated into nothing because the gas fills the available space. In other words, it's forcing itself into there. So if it's forcing itself into there, it cancels the reaction out. Notice they have not been able to show us a demonstration of this rocket working in a vacuum yet. There's a reason for that.
And even in their clumsy attempts to show that, as soon as they ignite their fuel in that small chamber, it's no longer a vacuum.
That's the whole point, yeah. That's what I say, why don't any of these people, they got so much connections and money and brains, contact the Sandusky, Ohio vacuum chamber personnel and ask, can we just use it for once? Just put a miniature rocket in the middle of the vacuum chamber because it's nice and big. And let's just disprove it once and for all. Why? Why don't they do this? Get Brian Cox to do it if you want. I mean, he's done other demonstrations in there. Obviously, he can put a small miniature rocket in the middle of the Sandusky, Ohio vacuum chamber. It should be big enough. And then see if it does anything. Someone should be able to.
Although this is actual rocket science.
All right.
I said, I've got a demonstration. They've got a little rocket that they put in a vacuum chamber and then filmed it with a high-speed camera. And you can clearly see that nothing happens to this thing until the ejected gases start to react with the walls of the container. It's there still as a baby.
That's right.
Right there. Doesn't move. I got it right up if you want to see it.
I remember that one, yeah, because I think Dave McGingan did a video on that one as well, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, this is the one. Even I did a video on this.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
You can see how it fills up, and once it's actually hit the walls, it starts moving.
That's it. Not until there's any contact with the wall. I mean, yeah.
Like in a vacuum.
That's its contact with the wall.
We can see from the footage or gunner, this rocket doesn't move whatsoever until the gases being expelled by it start pushing off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
Yeah, Leo also did this, yeah.
There's no walls in space fantasies, which means your fantasy world of rockets flying through a vacuum is just that, a fantasy. It doesn't move until the gases start pushing off the side wall of the vacuum chamber.
And they still try to double down in it and say that isn't so.
The rockets have nothing to push off. Nothing.
And then they say, but you're only showing the one piece. You didn't show the other piece, the second one. And then I showed the second one, and you can see the shadow of the gas. And then when it does hit, then it starts moving. Once it fills the container.
In a vacuum. It's a practical reference that can be tested and verified by all. It's a great representation, a visual here, for fantasists to look at and see that this doesn't move till the gases start to push off the walls of the vacuum chamber. As I've already stated. There are no
bigger vacuum.
Ain't got to beat that horse to death. That's pretty cut and dry right there.
Absolutely.
So let's see what Mr. McKeegan offers for us.
Hey, if I fail in doing it, today's sponsor, Brilliant.org, passes across calculating things with explanation wrong. 400 I link Brilliant.org receiving the argument of needing oxygen. And it's worth clarifying that the components needed are fuel and an oxidizer. Now, an oxidizer is something that will accept electrons. So
this is why I said it's very boring stuff. He keeps stating the obvious. Yes, going on Google and saying, how do I figure out how an oxidizer works, and sticking it on and explaining it doesn't make it means you know what actually was going on. But yeah, it's simple. Yes, oxidizer means it's giving its own oxygen with. It's just not very, how can I say, what was the word I used earlier now? Where something's not always going to be trusted, it's always giving varying results. I can't give it the right word. I gave a specific word for it.
Well, listen, you got to be careful about the online references too. I Googled what causes air pressure, and the damn thing says the weight of the air, and I'm like, what a freaking retard. It's pounds per square inch of displacement, dumbass. It has nothing to do with weight.
And then you find out gas doesn't have weight.
That's right. God.
So how can the weight of the air give it if the gas doesn't have weight? Fuck, what the?
And that was Wikipedia. That was Wikipedia.
Yeah. Wikipedia.
General Shadow says, what's the emissions pushing off? What? Emissions pushing off to get of the back wall. That's what, can you answer that? Gas. Okay, whatever.
When you mix it with fuel, the fuel gives up electrons to the oxidizer, and then this allows the fuel to ignite. Of course...
Don't say electrons. Dow doesn't believe in electrons.
No.
Okay.
Many common examples that we think of are things like car engines or jet engines, whereby the fuel is oxidizing with the oxygen in the atmosphere. But these are done by design because oxygen is in an abundance around these engines. However, it's possible for fuels to burn when not surrounded by atmosphere. All you need are compounds that contain their own form of an oxidizer. TNT, for example, has its own oxygen molecules, which means that could explode in a vacuum. Or, as Action Lab showed a few years ago, silver fulminate, which is extremely reactive and used in poppets, will ignite in a vacuum.
Yeah, and then once it's ignited, it's used up all the energy and it's finished.
I might also want to point out that substance shown in that video right there is a substance that implodes and does not explode.
Yeah.
And also, I wish these people also understand this little small vacuum they got here is not close to the amount
I suppose
of vacuum that they're supposed to have in this space. Okay? There's still oxygen molecules in that gas chamber.
Regardless, my thing is this. Regardless of whether or not you can ignite it or not, how is it giving you any thrust?
That's our
How is
point.
it making it not a thing with flames shooting out the ass end of it and just sitting, which is what would happen.
Yeah,
I
but that's what
suppose.
we're
I
saying.
suppose
We don't care. Yeah.
no, I was just going to say what Sov said about it imploding. I didn't know that, but I never even thought about it. I suppose it would, if it did explode, then they wouldn't be able to sell them, would they? As
No.
snappers or whatever you call them. Yeah,
Yep.
I never even thought of that, Sov. I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
But I mean, it doesn't matter if you're able to give combustion or something. The point is, you need to have thrust in a vacuum. That's the whole argument. Who gives a damn if you can actually ignite something in a vacuum or not?
That's right. That's right. I mean, you could probably light a match head, but the flame wouldn't take head. The sulfur would maybe, you know what I mean, strike. It would fizzle and then go out.
So the right fuels can burn in a vacuum, and when it comes to rockets, there are several different fuels which can be used. The only necessity is that the rockets are carrying their own form of oxidizer. Solid rocket propellants, for example, commonly use ammonium perchlorate as their oxidizer. Liquid fuel rockets, on the other hand, tend to use liquid oxygen. Starship, for example, uses methane for the fuel and oxygen for the oxidizer. Both of these are stored in the rockets as liquid. This is done because liquids are much denser than gas, so they can carry more propellant in the same volume of rocket. However, to get them as a liquid, they need to be very cold, i.e.
No, really? I didn't know that. Because what happens when you add heat, guys? Kaboom! So obviously it has to be cold. No shit, Sherlock. Stating the obvious. Should we actually go to where it actually starts actually giving any argument? Okay, wait, I think we first start. Okay.
Simplest form, a liquid rocket engine consists of two tanks, one for the fuel and one for the oxidizer, each line having a pump which drives the propellant into a combustion chamber. Here's where the two things mix together and will ignite, and the only escape route for the exhaust is through the narrow section called the throat and then out into the engine nozzle. Well, once the rocket engine ignites, any ambient atmosphere that was within the combustion chamber and the nozzle will be forced out of it.
But there isn't any atmosphere in it. You're in space, dumbass.
Exactly.
This is why I was going to say, this is why they've had to start floating this bullshit about the moon is within Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere extends out billions of miles. Oh, shut up, God.
But you see what he just said? So there's air inside there already. When the combustion happens, it forces the air outside there. What happens when you guys
What air?
blow it? There's pressure. If you have enough pressure, you can push off.
Well,
so
and
that
we also
air
have
coming out there.
immediate dispersal of the gas itself. Immediate. Not, it isn't like it goes like in a cartoon. It's like, beep, gone. That's how it actually works.
Spontaneously. Instantly.
I don't know where they come up with.
So if rockets were burning oxygen from the atmosphere, then immediately after ignition, it would run out of atmosphere to burn and the engine would cut out.
Oh, man. He's still on oxidizing. Okay. Let's just get. I thought he was actually starting to say, okay, there we go. He's moving on. Please get to where we want to see rockets working in a vacuum.
Thrust to push off, which is not how rocket engines push off. Obviously, to the next claim, which is that rockets need atmosphere surrounding them to push off of. And so in space, they couldn't maneuver because there is no atmosphere for the engine thrust to push off, which is not how rocket engines produce thrust. For this, it's important to remember Newton's laws of motion.
Told you. Equal and opposite reaction. Notice, guys, can anybody show me one year where it's showing nothing of friction? Everything has friction.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On Earth with an atmos plane. Okay.
An object's speed or direction will only change when a force is exerted on the object, and that if an object exerts a force onto a second object, the second object will exert an equal and opposite force on the first object. For example, if you had a pool table and a pool ball and you hit it with a cue, if we ignore air resistance and friction from the table...
Why would you do that? There's always air and friction. They love doing this, guys. Let's make a demonstration, but ignore these things that are always present. Why is that? Why do you always ignore
Because
something?
they lie.
Yeah. Also, one thing they do, they don't even need to take a rocket in a vacuum. They can take a balloon, and they can just, when you let a balloon go, it just flies all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm. See what happens there. Well, the thing is even in his force equals
That doesn't even work.
acceleration, I have to say nothing plus nothing equals nothing. Okay, because we're in an environment where nothing has any weight. So,
I mean,
what are you countering? What equal opposite force are you propelling yourself with?
I mean, look at when you look at displacement. You're forcing something into an area that's displacing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in space, you're not displacing anything. There's nothing to displace. So that energy is just filling that space. There's no equal and opposite reaction to have because it's literally just free expanse of energy.
Yeah.
Then the ball would travel at a constant speed all the way down the table. If we did it with two balls though, and we hit ball A into ball B, ball A would travel at a constant speed until it hits ball B. The energy from A would then transfer to B, propelling ball B forward at the same speed that A had been traveling at previously.
Yeah, but the ball is not a gas.
Yeah.
A solid is not a gas.
I know it, man. I know it. Even that Parks PhD guy. I was in a chat of his thing, and he was talking about stars, and I said, "How does a ball or a mass of a gas form at all?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he started going into the realms of, well, if it's frozen, and I said, "Well, if it's frozen, it's not a gas anymore, is it?"
If it's frozen.
Cheers asking, why is he showing us a cartoon? I exactly agree. Why?
Right. Couple of gobstoppers.
Because they can't show us a real demonstration, that's why.
And ball A would experience an equal and opposite force from ball B, which would cause ball A to stop. Of course, the perfect demonstration for that is a Newton's cradle, where the energy transfers through multiple objects and only the outer objects move because they don't have any subsequent object to transfer their energy to.
You don't need to just do the Barty. You can take two balls and only two balls will move. You can take three balls and only all three balls will move.
Yeah.
This is totally not missing the point, dude. These are solids. Gases are not solids. Gases move freely in all directions. If you have no gas, according to entropy, if you have a space vacuum, the gas would fill it, no energy change. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
No energy. So it's a free expansion of gas. It's Joule's free expansion of gas. Let me get something on screen quickly.
Hey, do you know what happens when you fire a bullet at one of those things that's on the screen right there? The bullet just shatters into pieces. It doesn't do anything. It's pretty trippy.
Ooh.
A lead bullet, full metal jacket, steel core.
Yep. Well, I don't know if it was all that, but it was a good sized bullet because those balls, I mean, they don't look very big, but I'm assuming that they're at least like, half an inch across or something.
I got some steel core bullets. I got steel core bullets that I know will shatter that ball.
Well, if those balls are steel, well, maybe with a big, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I shot a bowling ball.
I don't know what kind it was. It was probably just a simple rifle shot or something. Nothing big.
One time I went to the dump and I shot a toilet, an old toilet with a 44 Magnum, and there was just a cloud of white dust. There wasn't a piece left of that toilet any bigger than
I was going to say it probably just vaporized into a cloud of dust, bro.
Guys, listen to what he's going to say here.
Yep.
This is exactly why we say a rocket can't work in vacuum. Listen to what he says happens when the gas fills the available space.
One of these bulbs, some bromine, and in the other, I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all
listen to what he says now.
Changing entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy. So without...
There it is, man.
There you go. There's the answer. Good one.
You see?
That's been known for a long time. I mean, come on, that was in black and white.
Yeah, this is it's simple, guys. There's no energy change, so it's going to just freely expand into the available system. I don't know why, but it's almost like anti-flat earthers just don't want to understand how entropy works. Or am I just getting this wrong?
I don't see. I mean, I can't figure out how a rocket would work in space. Like I said, if you're weightless and you throw thrust into a mediumless environment and you're weightless, what would be the counter force that you're pushing against? There has to be some kind of a counter force. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there shooting fire out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
It'd be easy to test, though.
Pretty cut and dry.
We just have to. We would just have. No, we could take one of those big, shipping containers and seal it, weld it shut, and then do a demonstration inside of it. That's a big enough area that if you use a small rocket, you could see whether, because then the pressure wouldn't build up quickly, and you wouldn't have enough pressure early on in order for it to move around. You know what I mean? I think that'd be cool. I keep thinking that I keep telling myself I need to do one of these experiments and film it, but I don't really have anybody to help me. And my buddy, he's interested, but he's not much help. All right. But I have always wanted to do a really good test like that, like build a big, good sized chamber so that we could actually test to see what the differences were. And, you know what I mean? Compare them to the other tests that have been done and whatever, to show how fake it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Grundig washing machine with a top made from recycled PET bottles.
Now, let's consider an inflated balloon. Inside are air molecules that will be traveling in all directions and pushing against the walls of the balloon.
Ooh, so not gravity. Not gravity. Woo!
You ever seen what happens to a balloon when you put it in a vacuum chamber?
Oh, sorry, PJ. Sorry. Hey, Bing Bong. How are you doing, Russian?
My computer glitched out again. I had to do a restart.
Hey, is Michael okay, or is he coming back? What's going on with Michael?
Michael's he was I think he was meant to be helping that guy out today. Tinfoil Hat Man. He was helping him out again. He was meant to be going yesterday, but instead he's going tomorrow. But he had an appointment and that today. I spoke to him earlier. He sounded he's okay. He's all good.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, no, he's all good, right? He's all good. Don't worry about that.
That combustion chamber of a rocket is not a closed unit. It's, you know how he said the throat, how it's open. The moment you expel anything into the combustion chamber, if you're in a vacuum, it'll get sucked out. There will be no time to burn it. And the
A perfect
valve,
vacuum, especially.
the valve to your tank that holds the oxidizer, there would be so much pressure difference that it would implode your tank of propellant through that small tube going through each valve.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. That's exactly what would really happen. It probably wouldn't light at all, or if it did, it would only light for a second, and then once that valve opened and they opened up the flow of whatever stuff, it would just suck it out instantly. You're right, it would.
And
That's trippy. I
people
didn't
got
even
to
say.
remember too that we build stuff in atmosphere, right? So somewhat so the things that we build are compressed in a sense, right? If we go to a place with zero atmosphere, well, they expand and you'll rip apart instantly.
Yeah, just gonna say, vacuums don't suck.
No.
The gas fills.
That's why I
The
said we need to
vacuum has
build.
a low.
We need to build a really strong vacuum chamber.
Yeah. The vacuum has a low pressure.
I have an
system.
idea for how to do it using water.
High surrounding system forces itself into the vacuum.
Right, so it gives the illusion of sucking. All right, there you go.
Because the only sucking you can say sucking would be it sucks the energy away because it's free expansion.
She does suck the energy away.
No, according to that guy, only the entropy changes.
But I love what
there is no temperature change.
But I love what Dave McKeegan's showing on screen now. He's conceding without realizing it. A balloon with gas moving in all directions, pushing on the walls of the container. No gravity then.
And before any flat earther tries jumping in at this point and saying that this proves atmosphere needs a container, we're talking about something much smaller than Earth, and we're not talking about atmospheric pressure.
Whoa. Again.
Not talking about atmospheric pressure, he's putting atmospheric pressure
Well, that's one way of getting around the argument.
Yeah, of course, but
guys, this K, Boltzmann's constant. What's Avogadro's number? Would that be a constant of gas molecules in a volume? Weird. The fact they have that shows it needs containment.
With that equation, it says you need the acceleration due to gravity to find pressure.
No, they're putting that under for the mass of the air molecule.
Okay.
Because they're saying the mass, and because all gas is mass, and with its height, the pressure at height with the mass of the molecule, that's what gives it. So they're saying because of the mass of the molecule and the height of pressure is due to the acceleration of gravity. But notice, guys, acceleration due to gravity. We can say acceleration can be due to unicorns. Would make a difference.
No.
Yep. Well, as the big loudmouth from Facebook said on my show, the big physics guy, I said, how do you know that it's due to gravity? And he said, because it is. And he rage quit.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is what we say, guys. This is what we say. Well, you see that little G, that means gravity. No, that G represents acceleration. You guys just say it's due to gravity.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're saying gravity causes gravity.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they say due to gravity is because they're specifically saying downward vector. Gas moves in all directions constantly. Perfect elastic conditions. Expands to fill the available space. Gravity has no direct input on the direction of gas.
Nope.
So just stating because of gravity doesn't make it so. It's just a claim. An unfounded, unsubstantiated claim.
I keep them pinned to it. I keep them pinned to it. I say, if you think this is true, then demonstrate a volume of a gas without a container. Or all you have to do is demonstrate a downward acceleration of air due to gravity. That's all you have to do. Not point to the sky and go gradient. No, a demonstration.
You know what I still don't get is they still fight for gradients and then tell us we're dumb because we don't understand gradients.
Oh, wow.
You can't have the gradient if you don't have the gas. You don't have the gas if you don't have the containment.
Yep.
Stop fighting for pressure gradients if you can't prove you have containment first. Without containment.
That's literally putting the cart before the horse.
Literally.
That's looking the gift horse in the mouth.
Unless the solid firmament is a gradient of gas of air, then no, you can't. That's for sure.
It's like going to Antarctica and fighting that you have got potatoes coming out of the ground. You got potatoes out the ground and ate chips.
Just the firmament must be the end part of the gradient. That's the densest part of the gas gradient. You know,
it's idiotic.
It's stupid, isn't
it? Let's put it this way: you can't drive the car before it's made.
You can try. You have a hard job, but you can try.
But imagine this. Guys, I've driven this car. Oh, but the car is only going to be designed and made in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's how idiotic their arguments sound. I'm fighting for pressure gradients, but I don't need containment to have the gas pressure to have the pressure gradients.
Yeah.
Someone on TikTok wants to talk to me.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yes, Benjamin, this is TikTok Live as well. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming.
Oh, TikTok Live.
Yeah, it's good to see people in TikToks. What's up?
TikTok.
Ozzy Bob says, but does the density atmosphere pressure gradients prove gravity? No, it doesn't. Because if you look even on what they're showing on screen here, I should actually make this a bit smaller so they can see everything. Sorry, guys. TikTok can't see.
No worries. That means I'm back.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Vicky'd make a good PA, wouldn't she?
Oh, no, not again.
If you look at the T, guys, absolute temperature, gas has properties that change with pressure, with temperature, pressure, volume, everything. Now, the reason we got pressure volumes, pressure gradients in our dynamic system, is because the higher you go up, the more space there is to fill with less molecules. Temperatures change, pressures change, and the overall volume that it's filling changes. So that's why we got pressure gradients. It's got absolutely sweet bugger all to do with any acceleration due to gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Sorry.
Can I suggest another theory? What if it was the water above us pushing down on the dome that caused it?
Mm-hmm. And you have to understand when it comes to density, when something's denser, it takes more energy for it to move. So it moves slower.
Yep.
Ozzy, and yes, we can demonstrate pressure gradients in a contained system as well.
Like a salad dressing and a
But anyway, the air inside
we don't
will be
even
pushing equally
there is no
in
such
all
thing as an
directions.
uncontained system.
Nope. Exactly.
So even though there will be air pushing against the wall of the balloon on the left, there is a similar amount of force happening on the right side of the balloon.
Really?
So they'll cancel each other out. Same with the top to bottom and front to back. So
they're not cancelling each other out. It's just not escaping. Cancelling each other out. What? Did he literally just say that? They're canceling each other out. No, they contained. So in other words, they're restricted. There's no cancelling out of anything. That gas isn't just sitting against the wall and staying there.
No.
It's hitting, bouncing all over the place.
Wow.
He's trying to make it sound like that gas is just pushing on, staying there on the edge of the wall. No, it's moving in all directions constantly.
You know what's funny is if you take the balloon tip and you put a piece of paper around the backside of the balloon and tape it on there so that the air would blow into the paper instead of straight out behind it. Did you know that if you hook that balloon onto a string, it won't move when you let the air out? You know why?
Say that one more time.
Because the thrust that comes out of a balloon, if you took a piece of paper and you put a piece of tape from the top of the balloon there and you wrapped it around to the bottom and then you taped it on the other side, the top and the bottom parts, and then you left enough gap there to where when you let the valve go, the air would blow into the paper, and you let it go, and you let go of the thing, it won't blow anywhere because there's back pressure, right? It hits the paper and it goes different direction, it doesn't go straight behind it. So that also proves it. That also proves it. Because if what they're saying is true, then if you did have thrust going in a direction, it wouldn't matter if there was a piece of aluminum or whatever in the way, right? It should still thrust. But it doesn't. That's how you know it's not true.
Yeah, I know. It's like sitting on a sailboat and having the fan in the sailboat.
Yeah, like having a fan. Yeah, exactly. Without any wind, you're not going anywhere, dude. Exactly. The fan by itself is just gonna. All it's gonna do is make your uprights lean away from you. That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
All the forces cancel out, meaning there's a zero net force acting on the balloon, and so the balloon doesn't move. But if we were to open the end of the balloon up, the air which would have been pushed against the inside of the balloon in that area now has nothing stopping it, so there's no force pushing the balloon to the right. There is still, however, air pushing on the balloon to the left. This leaves us with a net force pushing to the left. And
oh my word.
If he cuts the balloon, the force that's pushing the other way will immediately go the other way. It won't continue.
Would you like me to demonstrate that balloon thing?
That's what I'm saying. He's making it sound like it's sticking to the edge of this balloon and just pushing in. No. If it was that way, it'd be pushing every direction. Dude, it makes like, how can I put this in a visualization? Like a vortex. So as soon as that opens up, imagine all the gas doing like a big vortex in the balloon as it's searching for that opening. It's constantly
There's not one molecule just still at the front being like, no, we gotta go this way, guys.
Exactly. It's moving in all directions constantly, just changing with collisions. So if that's hit that front of the balloon, it's going to hit and go back, hit left, go. It doesn't stop moving. This guy's trying to make it sound like gas pushes inside on there and just staying there.
McKeegan's audience must, his main audience has got to be around maybe 13, 14 years old.
No, they're just very gullible people.
Because that's...
Remember, McKeegan is very smart. Yeah, he's very smart.
He's a tick.
Man.
So the balloon moves in that direction. And the same thing happens on the inside of a rocket engine. When the fuel ignites, the exhaust gas pushes outwards in all directions. God. If the combustion chamber was sealed, then the forces would cancel out and the combustion chamber wouldn't move.
Yeah, it's called restriction. Duh. It can't escape. How do you expect it to move?
Wait. Hey, he's about to say the combustion chamber is not a closed system, I think.
Notice, guys, he's got it closed now, okay? When he opens it, what's going to happen?
But with an opening at the throat, this offers an escape route for the exhaust and a direction with no force then being exerted on the rocket, so the rocket is left with a net force pushing in one direction.
Oh,
Jesus. Help.
Oh, no.
Help everybody.
No.
There has to be a direction the other way, too, that's equal to that. So,
oh, man, this guy is... I don't know if it's intentional or is he really... Okay, first of all, Dave, you just shown again, you need containment for that gas to stay in the system. When you open it, you just showed the gas would escape the system. That would be called entropy. Okay? Literally,
you gotta think. You gotta
conceding-
think though. You gotta think though. He's closing the combustion chamber. That means you're gonna explode fuel in a close. You'll explode. What are you talking about? It's not a closed system. The combustion chamber is not closed.
I know, but you see the irony of this. He's conceding that you need containment to hold the gas in. Without the closed containment, it would escape.
Right.
He doesn't understand that. But the idiot is trying to make it look like the gases just stick to an outside of the wall. Like it's like the pressure just stays there. It doesn't do nothing. So just that one gas molecule is shooting out the rocket now where it's open, and the others is standing where they are. And it goes to the left because no, Dave, no. All that gas inside there is bouncing up, down, left, right, in every which direction and still escaping through that funnel. The only reason you see that you have force pushing is because the gas is escaping with a force. Now, if you have a vacuum, it has what we call free expansion of gas. No exchange of energy. That energy dissipates into the available space, aka entropy. There will be no energy to give an opposite reaction. The only reason you have equal and opposite reaction in this case is because there's a medium to push off of. There's already there's something that you have to do, so you need energy to displace it. If there's nothing to displace, there's no energy transference. So I rather say, Dave McKeegan, instead of drawing cartoons, get a rocket, stick it in a proper vacuum with a great big amount of volume, also that's contained, by the way, and show us how it works. Show us it working, please. I think that's not too much to ask, is it?
Well, see, every time I see somebody doing a vacuum, they always turn the air off. They stop it from creating more vacuum. Why they do that? If what they say is true, then it would be constant. The vacuum would keep on, like that low pressure system would keep on doing what it's doing. It's not going to just all of a sudden stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they take all the air out of the container and then they turn the vacuum off. Well, why would you turn it off? If that doesn't make sense. Why would they turn what's supposed to be constant off?
Yeah. Okay, let's see if he has anything more to say.
Now let's look at the flaws in their ideas that rockets are pushing off the atmosphere. The major problem links back to pool balls. The molecules in the air and the molecules in the rocket's exhaust are like billions of pool balls on a giant...
False. Pool balls are solids.
That's right.
Gases are not solid.
You say me.
So his premise is already wrong.
Oh, I see what you got.
A demonstration.
Yeah,
I've got a demonstration here about some entropy here. Okay, so you see how this balloon? I've got a piece of tape over the valve, right, underneath my finger there.
Wait. I gotta stick it on for the people in TikTok, so they can see as well. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you see the balloon and the bottom of the balloon where the valve is. Okay, I've taped it off and I'm holding it so it doesn't leak because it's leaking out slowly. But I put a piece of paper on the edge right here to block the air from blowing away, right? And I want to show you what happens, even though this isn't hanging from a string. I'm just going to set it on my hand and I'm going to let go of this valve here. And I'm going to show you that it doesn't have any thrust because it's there's something pushing against it. If I can get the damn tape off without breaking the balloon, hold on. Okay.
I've actually done this on a little toy car.
We should have hung it from a string.
If you stick a balloon on a little toy car,
Okay,
you can
air's coming out from it. Let me fill it up. I go.
you can do this on. I've done this on a little toy car as well. So you can blow it up, stick it on a toy car without the paper, and let it go. Then the car moves. As soon as you put the paper, like you
Now
do
there's a
now
hole in
to
it.
block it.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Give me a minute.
Nice.
I forgot that when you put Scotch tape on balloons that have been sitting in the garage for a couple of months, and in the heat, you know, they don't keep their rubberiness very well, and the tape kind of melted through it. And when it shrunk, it ripped the balloon. All right, well. Maybe, I'll just make a video.
After ignition, the exhaust gas has to leave the rocket's nozzle in order to collide with the atmosphere. Well, once it hits the atmosphere, the exhaust molecules would then stop, and the air molecules would...
False. Perfect elastic conditions. It doesn't stop, Dave McKeegan. You just literally showed you don't know how gas works.
So he thinks that as soon as they leave there, they just stop? There's what?
So.
Just stay, like, if you didn't light it on fire and just released it, you just have what? A string of gas or something? Or what the fuck is this guy talking about?
The gas never stops. It changes direction. So it's going to have a collision and bounce and go back the other way.
It's the new inert gas.
If anybody wants to tell me gas, Dave McKeegan knows anything about gas behavior, when you watch this, get your head checked. Get your head checked.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, dude. Let me make it big again. Let me make it big again, right?
I'm just setting it onto something. I don't have it attached to a string or nothing, so
There we
it's
go.
not going to work perfectly. But look, it went backwards. That's
Yeah,
funny. That's hilarious. Well, yeah, because the paper moved, but you get the idea, right? You notice how it didn't go that way. Why didn't it go that way, guys? According to what he's saying, that's what would happen in space. But that's not true.
I know why
it doesn't happen.
I know why it went the other. I know why it went the other way, Ryan.
Me too, because the paper curled and it shot the air at a different angle and made it spin. Yeah.
It redirected.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It displaced.
So what he's saying is crap. You cannot. It doesn't work like that, dude. And everybody in science knows this. That's why I get frustrated with them. You know
what? I'll actually go and I'll do that demonstration again this weekend. I'll take
yeah, that's a good idea. I've been wanting to make a really good video about it too.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of other demonstrations you could do.
Yeah, I'll stick it on a toy car and then I'll show you. If you have no partition to hold it, it's gonna go. As soon as you put the partition of the paper, it goes nowhere.
Das ist Ochsenscheiß.
Yeah.
Be pushed further away from the rocket. So there would be no force getting transferred back to the rocket to propel it upwards.
Dude, he is making me feel just dumb as fuck now.
Just, dude, this is embarrassing, Dave. Come on, I can't believe he actually made this, and he actually thinks what he's saying.
Now do you see why I don't trust most people? Because they just don't understand. It's like they have this block in their mind. It must be mental illness. It has to be. Either that or they're just getting paid and they're just doing what their job has told them to do. They're either reading from the script and they're getting paid to do it, or they're just not being honest. I mean, how else can you explain that? Because it doesn't match up with physics or anything.
Appreciate it. Wow.
I mean, they might try and argue that the molecules would bounce off the ground at the launch pad and back up to the rocket, except that would then have them bouncing straight back up into a fresh stream of exhaust gas.
No, you idiot.
Oh my God.
That force coming out is greater than what the pressure would be back. So,
what is that a picture of?
How much does the typical rocket weigh?
If you've ever driven a car before and you've seen those guys where they squash the exhausts. So the gases can try and come back a bit. So you have some more back pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's happening. But the pressure coming out is still greater than the pressure coming back. So
Cool.
what happens to the pressure trying to come back? It gets displaced away. What the hell is he saying?
It goes every direction except where it's coming out of the rocket, pretty much. Yeah, that's why they have those big louvers that are at the bottom.
I mean, think about it like this. It's like saying one guy doing a pushing competition against 20 people pushing against him. He's going to push back into those 20 people.
The Freemason
If
checkerboard.
he was a strong man, maybe, but yeah, not likely.
Okay, let's just try and finish this quickly. Oh man.
So if that were happening, the rocket's exhaust would be seen to be traveling
such
back up
cartoon,
into
dude.
the nozzle,
Thrust
which
is
doesn't
such a
happen.
fake-ass
In
cartoon,
reality,
bro.
the
It's so
exhaust may
fake.
initially try bouncing straight back up, but the subsequent molecules coming down on top of them push them back down again, which ultimately forces the molecules to take the only escape route they can. They can't go further down because the ground's in the way. They can't go back up because the exhaust's pushing them down. So instead, they're forced out to the sides.
No, really? So what
Wow,
do you do?
it's amazing.
So guys, he's just conceded they use something to push off of. So in other words, guys, conceding again, the gas is pushing off of something. Pressure, McKeegan.
You know what I think would really happen? If they really built a rocket as heavy as they claim they are, I think that it would get about 5-6 feet off the ground, and once there wasn't enough ground to actually push off of, that thrust would no longer keep it suspended in the air because these things weigh like thousands of tons. It's an insane amount of weight. It's just not possible. Yeah. I mean, I've seen him collapse like a balloon too. I've seen him just fall over and run out of air. And I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened here? It's pretty crazy.
Put your finger on the bottom of a pencil or a marker or something like that, and then try to move it straight up. Not holding on to it, only with it balanced on your finger. Try to make it go straight up, and see how much problems you have with that. I mean,
just the logistics of the angle of air coming out at a right angle so that you could steer it at all would be. I just can't see it ever happening. And I'm telling you, I tried this. I've tried these things. I've tried some of the stuff when I used to play with rockets. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm telling you, it just doesn't work like that. It just don't.
Well, you can get the small rockets. They'll go like that. But when you've got something like that that's 10 stories, 15 stories tall, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is if you add enough weight to any rocket, it won't take off at all. It'll get about an inch off the ground, and then it'll just fall over, bro.
Never mind.
But yeah, I can't think Dave McKeegan actually brought this out. He literally saying gas stops. And he wants me to take him seriously.
Well, see, this is what I've tried to say, and this especially with these things trying to land too. Okay, when you're dealing with an oblong object, just like this little pen right here, right? You put your finger on the bottom of this thing, okay, and try to manipulate it. Try to get it to stay upright. Just go ahead and try. And then if you are successful in doing that, look at the mechanics involved with trying to take it over and set it down on the table that way, or even to lift it to a higher position that way. Just because of the nature of the way that it's shaped, we're putting thrust and decreasing and increasing and actually changing your Y coordinate, your yaw as well, with your little thruster, your finger right there. You're able to do that, right? It's going to be next to near impossible for you to manipulate that object without it falling over.
Exactly. Okay, guys.
When I saw the first
closing statements. Dave, you probably want to start because you got a show tonight again, probably.
No, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a show tonight. I may. If I do, it's at 9:30. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. There are a few things, so I probably will go on tonight. There's a few things I want to go over, and one of them being some more questions regarding this final experiment and that kind of thing. But I think I'd like to go into this too about the rockets in a vacuum. I mean, I can't believe people could actually think something that stupid. You know, I mean, they haven't even, I mean, I don't know how you guys are. I'm assuming that people can do like I do, but I can take something and like war game it in my mind to see if it works out, you know, and then put it into an application. But I'm able to kind of like work those things out in my head and go, no, that doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second. Let's experiment. But I don't think you're going to do, nothing is going to happen in a vacuum or in a void, especially if you're weightless. How are you countering nothing?
Exactly.
Well, we wouldn't be able to demonstrate the weightless part, but we could still demonstrate that there is no pressure to push off of in a vacuum.
Yeah. Dislord, anything?
Not too much. No, I've been away too much to say too much.
Ryan?
No, I think Dave covered everything. I was going to say some stuff, but Dave covered it, so we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, good balloon demonstration.
Sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
People have to realize that there is never a condition in which something is not in a medium. Okay? It's mind fuckery right there. You can think that there is any condition where there is no medium.
Okay, PJ?
Yeah. I was going to say, Ryan, good balloon demonstration. I like the little twist to it, though. That was good. Like I said earlier, it's like when you were doing that demo, it's a bit like putting a fan on a sailboat and expecting when you blow the fan into the sails, it's going to take off. You know, it's a bit like that. It's not going to happen.
And the sad thing is, people believe that if they think of the intuition, like, yeah, that should work. But no, that's not how it works.
That's kind of in your head sometimes you do, but you can see it both ways. You know, when it's initially you might think might work, but as soon as you see it demonstrated, it's like, no, of course it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fantasy. It's fantasy.
One of those things, it kind of makes sense, but then you're like, no, I'm going to have to see if that's real or not, because by all accounts in my mind, it seems to be working, but I don't see it actually happening in reality. And it's like, what was the one about having a magnet hanging in the front of a car, in the front of a little toy car to try to get it to just perpetually move forward?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not going to work either.
Yeah, of course. Do you know, I think I've actually tried that when I was a bit younger or something like that, you know, to try that. Yeah, because it does. Yeah, it does. Works out properly. Got you. I might as well have a morning coffee show. I think it'll be about what Jesus wrote in the sand. Why did he write in the sand? You know, when he drew a line in the sand. Yeah.
I like that one.
That's
actually very good.
It'll be 8 a.m. GMT.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, thanks all for coming. Appreciate everybody in the YouTube lands, everybody in the TikToks. Appreciate all the super chats, all the likes and shares. If you haven't already, follow, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and I'll see you all tomorrow night for another awesome episode, because tomorrow night we're going to be doing Justin Peters again, with him talking to Will Duffy about the final experiment. Woohoo! Okay. So many blessings.